Slope deals with the steepness of the line, and we use the variable m to represent slope. There are several formulas that you can use to find the slope of a line. There's change in y over change in x, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and rise over run. So when I'm given some ordered pairs like I have here, I know that these are going to form a line on my graph, so I'm going to find the slope. So I know I have x values and y values in each of these ordered pairs. So I'm going to use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And I'm going to substitute my x and y values accordingly. I'll start over here in this second parenthesis with a y value and say 8 minus, and I know my other y value is 5. Okay, my x value, I have to stay in the same parenthesis I started with. So because I started with 8, my x value has to be 4 here. So 4 minus 2. And when I do this, I get 8 minus 5, which is 3, and 4 minus 2, which is 2. So my slope is 3 over 2, where the graph rises 3 units and runs 2 units from each point. Likewise, I can do the same thing for this x, y, x, and y. And this time I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick this first parenthesis first, just because it doesn't matter which one you start with. So let's say y minus y would be 1 minus 1. And then we'll start over here and say 4 minus 3. 1 minus 1 gives me 0, and 4 minus 3 is 1. 0 divided by 1 can reduce, and I know that that means the slope is 0. And looking at this one, I can see that here's my x, y, x, and y. And we'll just start with this time with negative 3 as my y value. So we'll say negative 3 minus the corresponding y is 4. So over here, my x value is going to be 2 minus 2, just filling those into that formula. Negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7, and 2 minus 2 is 0. I know I can't divide by 0. Negative 7 divided by 0, we say that's undefined. Now, when you see a couple graphs, you should be able to tell a few things about the graph without doing any work. For instance, this graph, as it's going up, it's increasing. I know that a graph that looks like this has a positive slope without doing any work. I know this graph is decreasing. The slope is going to be negative because the graph is falling as you go from left to right. This graph, you can see that the y value stays constant. When that happens, our slope is 0. And if you're not sure, you can always check it. You're not rising at all, but you are running. So it's 0 over some number. And this graph is a vertical line, which means it has an undefined slope. And again, we could check it algebraically, and we could pick a couple points and say that we are rising, but the run is 0. So it's some number divided by 0, and we know we can't divide by 0. So given this graph, I should be able to pick a few points and determine the slope. When I'm using a graph and trying to find slope, I'm going to use the formula rise over run, because then I just have to count from point to point. So I'm going to start here at this point, and I'm going to go and pick another point which looks like right here. So if I do that, I'm going to draw the right triangle, and I'm going to count. I rise 2 units, and because my graph is going down, I'm falling 2, I'm going to say that's negative. The run is 3 units. So my rise is negative 2, my run is 3. And I know that because this graph is falling from left to right, that's correct. I should have a negative slope.